Hey everyone, it's Scott here from Remax East Coast Elite Realty, and welcome to this episode of Hometown Proud. We are just outside the village of Harvey in our undisclosed location, and we are on site with chainsaw carver Ryan Little. And as you can see behind me here, we're going to go inside and see what's going on. We are inside this undisclosed location. I'm going to let this fine gentleman to the left of me introduce himself.
I'm Ryan Little. We're sitting in Ryan Little Carving's carving shed.
In our undisclosed location.
That's right. Yeah.
One of the nicest backdrops here I think we've had. I think you tried to set me up with this chair because I'm going to be falling asleep here in a few minutes probably. But tell us a little bit about yourself, Ryan. You're a Harvey boy?
I'm a Harvey boy, born and raised. I grew up here. I started work at my dad's lumber mill, which you did a series or an episode on that a few weeks back, Little's Lumber. And then I left there and went to another job. And we were sitting around talking about chainsaw carving, and I come home and gave it a shot, and this is what ended up.
What prompted you want to try chainsaw carving?
Well, to be honest, I always wanted to have a chainsaw carving, and we were sitting around work one day and talking about chainsaw carving. There was a couple of shows on. Pioneer Log Homes was one, and a couple others, and so I said, you know what, I'm going to go home and fire up a saw that I got from the mill. It was 100 years old, and a dowel chain, bent bar. It was in bad shape, about a 72cc saw. Anyway, I went home that night and fired it up and carved out a tree, kind of like the ones I have back there, except a little bigger. And I put welcome on the bottom of it. And then set it on the step. And my son was away with a friend of his, and when he got dropped off that night, the parents had seen it and said, geez, where'd you get that? And I said, well, I just carved it. And they said, well, I didn't know you'd chainsaw carved. How long you been doing that? And I said, I don't know, about an hour. And they said, I want one. He said he wanted to get one for his wife. So I said, yeah, sure. So anyway, I carved one, and it just kind of grew from there. So it was a complete fluke, but it got me here.
That's about as interesting a start that you could possibly get to a career just by a fluke. Then that was when, 2018,
That was the fall of 2018, yeah.
And you've been working at it pretty steady ever since?
I have, yeah.
So,
so after that carving, I said, well, maybe I should try a few more. So, I mean, I didn't know anything about carving. I still really don't. But I said, I'll carve a bunch. So I was contacted by the elementary school. They were hosting a bazaar, they call it. It was a craft sale at Christmas time. And I said, well, I might as well see what I can do. So I spend every night after work carving trees and a few odd little things. And I went to the craft sale and I set it up, and I don't know how many trees I had, but within an hour, everything was pretty well gone. So at that point, I knew I had to get rid of the 100-year-old saw and invest in some more efficient, easier to run equipment and give it a go.
So how much time do you think you spend at this now?
This is almost my full-time job, and my real job is almost like my hobby. So it's quite a bit of time.
So it's progressed pretty quickly.
It has,
in a short time.
Yeah.
And you say you still don't know much about carving, but I'd say these creatures beside us would beg to differ on that. So how long does it take you to carve something like this fellow out right here?
Oh, that guy, you'd be looking at 5 hours, 6 hours.
That seems
carve
pretty,
it out. I mean, there's guys out there a lot quicker than I am, but I mean, that's my time.
So what's your favorite thing to carve?
Well, when I started carving, I swore that I was never going to carve a bear. Every chainsaw carver carves a bear. So that was the last thing I wanted to do. But bears sell. That's what people want. So I carve bears. And I have actually grown to like carving bears. I like doing eagles. I like doing anything different like that guy back there. Just anything out of the normal.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you finish these all yourself too? Put different finishes on them?
I do. I usually carve them out, give them a burn, flap sand them, and then the bears I paint, and then I put a spar urethane on them to give them protection.
Nice.
Yeah.
How many pieces of equipment do you have on hand to do stuff? I mean, I know chainsaw is the obvious, but there must be other tools you use?
There's a lot, and the more you do, the more you realize, the more you need. So I think right now I'm running 8 saws. I use steel chainsaws just because I've had good luck with them and no reason to change. And then I have a whole plethora of Milwaukee tools, grinders, die grinders, sanders, a lot. And then, and then your basic flap sanders and then a couple of cans of spray paint.
Cool.
Yeah.
How many different species of wood? What's the normal species of wood to carve with?
The larger carvings I use white pine. These ones here are white pine. My small trees in the back, they are typically cedar. Cedar is a nice wood to work with. It dulls the chain fast, but it's a nice wood. Plus it lasts really well. It weathers good and lasts forever. The white pine, it's a little harder to come by because people in the woods aren't typically cutting white pine, so it's kind of a special deal for them to go out and get white pine for you. It carves well, and it lasts well if you look after it. You have to treat it with your spar urethane, which I use and do it every couple of years. Lasts forever if you look after it. Mm-hmm. I do a bit of oak. I've done a few oak carvings. I love working with oak, but it's not readily available.
That must be a whole lot different than working with a piece of softwood, though.
Yeah, but it still carves really well.
Mm-hmm.
Maple is probably my least favorite. I do carve some maple, but it carves hard, and I find you get stains and that sort of thing in it, so I try to avoid it.
Nice.
But, yeah, those are.
So have you, I assume most of your carvings, most of your work's done here outside of our undisclosed location that we're at here. Most of your work's done here.
Yeah, I do carve on location.
That was my next question.
Gone all over the place to carve on site. Typically, though, I carve here. In this shed, I'll do the finishing and stuff in here, but I have a tent next door that if the weather's bad, I can carve in there. All the other time, I'll carve outside. The larger carvings I do down in the lower yard, and I have more room and more of a breeze to keep the bugs away.
That's where we're looking at those big pieces down there.
Yeah,
that's some rugged looking wood.
That's big wood. Yeah, that's pine. And that's for a client that I've done some work for in the last year. I did last summer and again this summer, but it's a good project, really good client to work with, and it's a lot of fun. I love doing the big stuff. It's a lot of work. There's nothing about any of this that's easy. Everything from the start to the finish period is labor intensive, and anyway, it's it's work, but every aspect of it is a blast. It's fun. But yeah, the larger carvings, they're something different for sure. A lot of climbing up and down scaffolding, and I can't draw worth a pinch, so I go up and I do a little cut, and then I have to climb down and stand back and look and see if things are looking right. But anyway, get it done after a while.
So a lot of this just comes to you as you're carving, you're visualizing, and
Yeah,
you know,
you just stand back and look at the piece and picture what you want to put in it. And then the first step is take off the parts that aren't in the picture. Once that's done, then go back and start doing some detailing and hoping that by the time you're done, you have what you envisioned.
So you prefer some of that, like I said, that looks like a massive project down there that you're doing a heck of a lot different than one of these little fellas here. So you like that as opposed to the smaller stuff? Or?
Yeah, it's just something different, something to, it challenges you.
When you say that you've done stuff on site for people, have you ever done anything that's permanently affixed, like a tree that's not been cut down and just utilizing part of it on a client's lawn or property?
If I'm carving on location, it is a tree that has been cut off. The stump is still in the ground, typically. So, yeah, I've done everything from eagles to signs to bears, just whatever they want.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
There's one question I bet you a lot of people are wondering out there, though I've kind of wondered, but you look to be be in pretty good shape and not trying to look you over too close, but I don't see any major looking wounds on you. Have you ever had any severe injuries?
Yeah, I have a few. Nothing serious, but yeah, everything you do lets you know that you're doing it. Yeah, it's a good workout. It's like I said, there's nothing easy about it. You're standing with a saw for 5 to 8 hours a day and constantly moving like this. And I mean, average saw probably weighs 15 pounds, I guess, for a blocking saw. And yeah, they'll let you know who's boss real quick. So you have to respect the tools and try to get out of the way before they knock you over, I guess.
Still got all your digits, though?
So far, so good.
That's good.
I've had a few little nicks and cracks, but most of the stuff will heal up.
It's just enough to teach you respect for the
That's right.
For the tools, I guess. So, anything that you see coming that you'd like to do? I mean, I know you kind of mentioned this big project down here, but anything on the radar coming up that's...
No, I don't think. I kind of like the way it is. I do a lot of sales throughout the summer and not flea markets, but like craft sales and like Ribfest, for example. Was there doing some live carving, doing small carving so people could stand back and kind of watch the start to finish of a process. And so I do a lot of live entertainment, I guess. I am quite entertaining.
I've heard that, yeah.
Yeah.
Heard that said before.
So I have a lot of fun with that. I enjoy the people and talking with them and everything that goes with that. So I do craft sales and live carving and yeah. So I think I'd just carry on with that and I have a few projects like the one down below, the big one. That'll keep me busy for the next couple of years probably.
So you see yourself sticking at this for a while then?
Yeah, I don't see any reason to slow down, I guess, at this point.
No, not unless you have to, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? Hopefully you keep all your digits intact so you can keep
That's
doing
the
that
game
and
plan.
play
Yeah.
safe. Yeah. So where do word of mouth, obviously, small community support. It's been good for you, I guess. But outside of that, I mean, I know the word of mouth thing travels big for you. We all know that. How do people find you that don't know who you are?
Well, word of mouth.
Not that you want them into the undisclosed location.
Well,
but
that's right. This is top secret. It's kind of like Area 51. But I'm on Facebook, Instagram. You can give me a shout there. That's probably the easiest. If you're not from the area, you can find me there. But it is funny, like I've got carvings as far as Texas, Las Vegas, Halifax, Vancouver, Ontario. They're everywhere, and I don't know how they get there, but they do. So, however the advertising's working, it's getting out there. So
That's good. Well, I've got one of your little bears I think I got from you quite a while ago when we did business together, and it's it still sits in my garage.
Nice.
One of the little welcome bears.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, I always like
comments
looking. I like seeing the older stuff, and I like seeing where it goes. So I mean, it's cool that someone will send me a message and say, "Hey, I got a whatever," and I'm in Las Vegas. I mean, that's that's a hard climate to have a chainsaw carving.
I would think.
It dries out and cracks. Anyway, we got it looked after, but yeah, it's. I always enjoy seeing the old stuff that I've done, where it's gone, and how it's changed from what I'm doing now. It's kind of.
You probably answered this too, but in case anybody's wondering, I mean, I guess your carvings are obviously meant that they can be outside.
They can be, yeah.
They can be, but some people use them inside, outside, depending on the situation. So,
Yep.
what kind of maintenance? You know, if you had a fellow like this and you had him sitting outside all the time, I mean, can you just refinish it and?
Yeah,
put
basically.
another-
I mean, it is wood. You'll get small checks and cracks.
Mm-hmm.
When they're small, you can just touch them up and put another coat of spar urethane on it or whatever, but they last a long time. Leave them up off the ground so you can get some air underneath of it. Make sure the ants are staying away. That's about your biggest problems, ants. And if you're not putting the urethane on it, you want to do that probably every 2 years. Whenever it loses the shine, I recommend putting another coat on it. Too much isn't enough. I mean, and yeah, they'll last a long time.
Nice, very cool, very amazing. It's an amazing talent, I think. So let's switch gears for a minute and talk about Harvey. And you say you're a community boy, born and raised. Never really asked you this at the first, but you have any children?
Yeah, we've got a couple boys. Yeah.
And they're growing up pretty quick, I imagine.
Too quick, yeah.
Too quick. Any interest in following Dad with the chainsaw? Or are they
Well,
too young?
they've tried it.
Have they?
Oh yeah, yeah. They both of them have tried it. Yeah, they have an interest there. They haven't grabbed onto it full time or anything yet, but yeah, they think it's pretty neat.
Yeah, I bet you they do. So what makes Harvey special to you?
Just it's a personable spot. It's a close. I mean, it's almost like a family. It's a nice spot to live. Everybody looks out for everybody else, and it's a welcoming community for anybody that wants to move in here. Yeah, I don't know. It's treated me very well from the time I was that high till now. I mean, you've always felt like you've had somebody watching your back, so it's a pretty special spot, really.
And the community's been good to you, I think. For
I
supporting
wouldn't
you.
be where I am without them, because when I first started, obviously that was the only audience I had at the time, and they jumped in full board and kind of gave me the punch in the shoulder to keep at it.
Yeah, well, it's certainly paying off for you. Seems like you're enjoying it and having fun, which I guess is the.
That's the main thing. If the fun dies out, then I'll stop doing it. But I don't see that in sight.
So you do this year round?
I do. Winter times, obviously, harder time to do it. I'll do it in my tent. I have it heated, so I can do smaller stuff. The bigger stuff, I hold off and do that in the summer. But
doesn't. So when you're carving with your wood, another question I wanted to ask you about that. When I seen them big logs outside, does it matter how old the wood is? Can you carve on an old, something that's been sitting around for a couple of years? Does the moisture content make any?
Every
difference
carver will tell you something different. I prefer fresh wood. You can carve it. You can get it sealed up. You can put a relief in the back of it to let it dry from the inside out. So you can kind of control somewhat where the cracks are, how many cracks are going to be in the wood. Older wood, it's dry, it's already got the cracks in it. You can't control it. So I find fresh wood you have more control with it.
So when you say putting a relief in it, is that sounds like something like cutting a control joint in concrete or something to
exact same thing.
Control.
It does a couple of things. It allows the wood to dry from the inside out. If you carved it and left it whole and sealed it, the moisture is locked in the log. It'll start to rot on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
It'll still last a long time, but not as long. So my bigger carvings, like these ones, I cut a relief in the back, do it off in a couple directions, and it allows the wood to breathe, dry out, do its thing, and if it is going to give a massive crack, it's got the relief, so chances are it's going to happen where that relief cut is. So it's kind of a preventative.
So is that's something you just kind of learned as you went, or you're self-taught pretty much, so
100% self-taught. I mean, obviously YouTube and stuff like that, but I did learn that was important on my own. A few bad experiences, so nothing that wasn't able to fix, but it's a learning curve. Yeah.
Maybe down the road you can fire up a learning workshop or something for people.
Yeah, that's been mentioned a few times.
Has
yeah,
it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just said that as a joke, but not surprising.
It has been. Yeah, I don't know if you want me teaching you anything or not, but
well, I think I'm probably too old.
Oh God, no.
Too old to do that. I'm sure
No.
there's lots of young people.
No, I know. There's guys up into their 80s. I know a gentleman that's 80 doing it. So I mean, age isn't a factor. It's whether or not you're able to get up and do the movement.
Mm-hmm. So have you collaborated with any of your colleagues? Like, I don't even know where the next nearest wood carver would be, but are there a few that are local? Like
There's a few
relatively
around,
local?
yeah. I haven't carved with any, but I've met plenty.
Just kind of do your own thing, and
I do, yeah. A lot of the other guys, they're into competitions and doing that sort of stuff, and I'm not big on that, so I just kind of stick to my own thing and do what I like and in my own controlled environment.
yeah. So if someone had an idea in their head for a carving, they could reach out to you, contact you, and you might be able to
Yeah, absolutely. It happens all the time.
do something, just a different idea.
Yeah.
What's one of the most unique things that you've carved, maybe aside from a bear or a tree? Anything that comes to mind?
I don't know. There's been a pile. Yeah, I don't know. There's a bunch.
So those little trees, at the Ribfest, with the footage we have here from the Ribfest there, man, you whipped through one of them little trees in a hurry. It didn't take you long to do one of them.
Well, after you've done 1,000 or so, you learn the shortcuts and you get pretty quick at it. Yeah.
So they
Doing a repetitive carving obviously comes quicker than something new.
So obviously, the answer to that question would be the hardest thing would probably be something that you were commissioned to do that was brand new to you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Commission carvings are always the challenge because you've got to make it unique. You want to make it something that's personable to the customer that's buying it. And,
And you would just kind of
do
pricing based on each individual carving, size, time, I'm assuming.
Pretty much. My time, I don't charge by time. I wouldn't put that on anybody. But I usually charge by the foot. So if a carving's 3 feet tall, I usually have a price per foot that I charge for basic carvings. And I mean, it goes up depending on the detail and that sort of thing. But yeah. Yeah, because the time, I mean, something simple that would take 3 hours one day. I mean, if you're not in the mood, it might take 12 hours the next time you carve it. So charge by the foot, and it kind of keeps everything evened out and on an equal playing field.
Yeah. Anything that you want anybody to know before we wrap this up?
No.
Anything we should know? No big secrets you're hiding? Nothing?
I got lots of things I could tell you, but probably nobody needs to know.
Don't
No.
need to be on camera.
No, right. No, I think that's probably everything that I can think of.
Well, this is pretty amazing, and I would say to anybody that if you've got an interest in chainsaw carving, then come out and see this guy. It's
Yeah.
at our undisclosed location. Reach out to him first, and
I do recommend if anybody's ever thought of picking up a saw and trying it, to do it, because it's a lot of fun. You won't regret it. Just try to keep your digits.
yeah, I think I'll pass and stick with the real estate maybe for a while longer. But anyways, we're going to wrap this up, because if we don't, I'm going to be laid back in this chair and having a nap. Anyways, thanks very much, Ryan, for sitting down and chatting with us. It's been a blast. Can't wait to see what you come up with next. Thank you very much.
Thank you for swinging by.